Welcome dear students. In today's lecture, we will cover Unit 4 Managerial Roles. In this session, we move beyond the traditional view of manager as planner or supervisor and examine what managers actually do on a day-to-day basis. Management is not a static position, it is a dynamic set of roles that require continuous interaction with people, information, and decisions. Drawing primarily from Henry Mintzberg landmark research, this lecture explained how managerial work is structured into specific roles and how these roles translate into real organizational responsibilities. We will also explore how managers act as coordinators, facilitators, instructors, and decision makers while balancing efficiency, effectiveness, and changes in modern organizations. Before we proceed, let us clearly define the learning objective of this lecture. By the end of this session, you should be able to explain the concept of managerial roles as a organized pattern of behavior that rather than isolated activities. You will be able to classify managerial roles into interpersonal, informational, and decisional categories as proposed by Henry Mansberg. You should also be able to relate these roles to practical managerial responsibilities such as coordination, leadership, negotiation, and coaching. Finally, you will gain an understanding of the broader task of a professional manager, including ensuring effectiveness, efficiency, human resource development, and organizational adaptability in a changing business environment. To meet the diverse demands of their positions, managers assume various roles that are common across different types of management work. We can define these roles as organized set of behaviors. Broadly, these are divided into three primarily groups. First is interpersonal, second is informational, and third is decisional. So it is crucial to understand the logic behind this grouping. The interpersonal roles are the foundation. They ensure that relationships are built and maintained. This relationship in turn ensure that informational role can be executed, meaning information is provided and processed. Finally, the decisional roles make significant use of the information to drive the organization forward. While we discuss these 10 roles individually for the sake of clarity, remember that in practice they form an integrated whole. A manager does not stop being a leader when they are making a decision. The roles overlap and intertwine. The degrees to which a manager plays these roles depend on their level in the hierarchy. For instance, a top level manager operates differently than a supervisor, though both share the same fundamental role structure. Let us first examine the interpersonal roles. These are primarily concerned with the relationship between pupils. First is the figurehead role. In this capacity, the manager represents the organization in all matters of formality. For a top level manager, this means representing the company legally and socially to the outside world. For a supervisor, it means representing the work group to higher management. Second is liaison role. Here the manager interacts with peers and individuals outside their immediate chain of command. A top level manager uses his role to gain favor and gather strategic information, whereas a supervisor uses it to maintain the routine flow of work. Third is the leader role. This defines the relationship between the manager and the employee. This role permits all activities, making it perhaps the most significant of all roles at every level of management. Let us now look at how interpersonal roles operate in real-world managerial setting. Consider the example of Ratan Tata. In figurehead role, he represents the entire Tata Group as formal event, inauguration, and public ceremonies. In the liaison role, he maintains a strong connection with government officials, industry partners, and international collaborators, relationship that helped Tata Motor acquire Jaguar Land Rover. In the leader role, he is known for visiting employees personally during time of crisis and motivating teams with empathy and clarity. Moving on, the direct relationship established in the interpersonal roles place the manager in unique position to acquire data. This leads us to the informational roles. In the monitor role, the manager constantly scans the environment to receive and collect information. In the role of disseminator, the manager acts as a conduit transmitting special information into the organization that subordinate might not otherwise have access to. Top level manager typically process information from outside the organization, while supervisor focus on internal data. Finally, in the role of spokesperson, the manager disseminates the organization information out into its environment. Consequently, a top level manager is often viewed as an industry expert, while a supervisor is seen as a departmental expert. The unique access to information places the manager at the center of organizational decision making. This brings us to the four decisional roles. First is an entrepreneur. The manager initiates changes and innovation. Second is disturbance handler. The manager deals with involuntary situations and threats to the organization. Third, as a resource allocator, the manager decides where the organization will expand its effort and who gets what resources. Fourth, as a negotiator, the manager negotiates on behalf of the organization. It is important to note that while a supervisor performs all these roles, the emphasis differs from that of higher manager. Supervisory management is more focused and short term. Therefore, the figurehead role is less significant for them, while the disturbance handler and the negotiator roles increase in importance. Now, let us look especially at the work of Henry Mintzberg. Mintzberg intensively studied five CEOs using structured observation and reviewing chronological records of their activities. Based on this data, he formalized the role we just introduced. Let us look at the practical application of the interpersonal rules in Mintzberg framework. As a figurehead, the manager acts as the symbolic leader. Practical examples include attending ribbon cutting ceremonies, hosting receptions, or giving formal presentation. As a leader, the focus is on motivation and interaction. This includes almost all managerial operations involving subordinates such as guiding, supervising, and evaluating staff. As a liaison, the manager establishes contact outside their vertical chain of command. This involves conducting business correspondence and participating in meetings with a representative of other departments or organizations. Continuing with Mintzberg framework, let us detail the informational role. In the monitor or a receiver role, the manager collects data relevant to organizational functioning. In practice, this looks like handling incoming correspondence, conducting periodic surveys, attending seminars, or participating in research tours. As a disseminator, the manager transmits information obtained from external sources to people inside the organization. This involves disseminating letter, notice, information, digest, and informing subordinates about agreements and decisions. As a spokesperson, the manager communicates the organization's plans and achievements to external stakeholders. This is seen when a manager prepares information letter, issues circulars, or present progress report to external parties. Finally, under Mintzberg decisional rules, we see the manager in action determining the path of the organization. The entrepreneur acts as the initiator or change. This involves seeking opportunities to develop internal processes. In practice, this means participating in meetings regarding future oriented issues and implementing innovation. The disturbance handler takes charges when the normal flow is interrupted. This involves debating strategic issues and determining way to overcome crisis situation. The resources allocate the resource allocator decide how physical, financial and human resources are distributed. This is evidenced by preparing and approving schedules, plans, estimates and budgets. The negotiator represents the organization in major negotiation, establishing formal links between the organization and the companies. Let us briefly recap this section. We have established that a manager work is not random but consists of 10 specific roles defined by Henry Mirzberg. These are grouped into three categories: interpersonal role, which build a relationship; informational role, which gather and distribute data; and decisional roles, which utilize that data to manage resources, handle crises, and innovate. So, understanding these roles help us to appreciate the complexity of the managerial jobs. So, having defined the roles, let us now discuss the nature of the manager daily existence under specific headings. First, consider the manager of outcome. Ideally, a manager is responsible for making things happen. For a newly appointed manager, this is significant shift. Rather than doing the technical work themselves, like producing drawing or delivering services, they must ensure other people do these things effectively. Second, consider the manager as coordinator. Manager must ensure that the team total effort is meaningful. They must quickly understand their team's strength and weakness to ensure work is not duplicated. Activities must be balanced and focused toward an ultimate goal. But here is a question for you to consider. Is coordination simply about handing out tasks? No, it is far more complex. It is involved dealing with different working style, unexpected obstacles and shifting priorities. Moving forward, the manager must act as a facilitator. This involves bringing together disparate skills so team members can learn from one another. The facilitator drives the momentum of the team energy and maintain good morale. Crucially, managers must encourage contribution from others, ensuring credit is given where it is due. Additionally, we have the manager as an instructor. Managers are responsible for drawing out the best in their team. A primary method for this is coaching. So, coaching implies helping others improve by removing obstacles in their way. This obstacle might be a lack of confidence, a lack of clarity over goals, or confusion over techniques. The coaching support a manager provides just as vital as securing resources for the team. Now, let us touch upon a reality often left unspoken: the manager as a politician. The world of work is inherently political. Manager must negotiate difficult relationships with various stakeholders. Being political means improving one's personal and professional networks, as many opportunities arise through established relationships. Conversely, we have the traditional role of manager as a commander. While easy to fall into, the command and control model has serious drawbacks. It limits the initiative staff can take and force them to constantly refer back to the manager for instructions. This can demotivate skilled staff who feel untrusted. Managers who receive support in developing these diverse skills, from coaching to political navigation, tend to have a better working relationship, achieve higher outcomes, and contribute more to the organization as a whole. For example, the political dimension of managerial work is clearly visible in NGO sector. A project director must build a relationship with donors, government authorities, and other organizations. They must use negotiation skill and networks to secure funding and gain approvals. This political skill often determines whether a project survives or not. On the other hand, the managerial role of commander is essential in specific situations. For example, an Indian railway operation manager must give clear and decisive instruction during emergencies. They cannot afford ambiguity. However, when overused, command and control leadership can restrict creativity. Thus, a balance between political awareness and authoritative direction is necessary. We now transition to the specific responsibility of a manager. The three vital determinants of teamwork are leader, subordinate, and the environment. It is the leader's responsibility to make the environment conducive to work. By encouraging inquisitive employees and prohibiting insidious elements, the manager creates a hygienic environment. A key responsibility is striving for effectiveness. Frequently, managers get bogged down in petty details. To counter this, a leader must thorough concentrated effort into bringing effectiveness by nurturing teamwork, utilizing better time management, and exercising power properly. The leader must delegate authority where needed and invite participation to achieve better result. Let us examine managerial effectiveness through the lens of Maruti Suzuki. A plant manager there may introduce a small Kaizen improvement to reduce downtime. They promote teamwork, delegate responsibilities to supervisor, and maintain a psychologically safe working environment. These actions collectively enhance effectiveness. So, another example can be seen in a digital marketing agency, where the manager improve effectiveness by setting clear weekly objectives instead of micromanaging each task. By empowering teams, the manager enhances both speed and quality of output. What are the specific tasks of a professional manager? Let us list the most critical ones. First, providing purposeful direction. The manager must set objectives that provide the direction in which the firm should move and then monitor progress. Second, managing survival and growth. Mere survival is not enough. The manager must seek growth. Third, maintaining efficiency in terms of profit generation. Efficiency is the ratio of output to input. While a manager may forego some profit today for future gains, they must understand that no business survives without profit in the long run. Fourth, building human organizations. Man is the most critical resources. A manager with a competent team has won half the battle. Fifth, retaining talent. Hiring is simple, retaining is hard. People stay if they find appreciation and satisfaction. Finally, meeting the challenges of change. A manager must be a change agent, constantly unlearning and relearning. Consider the CEO of Zomato. To ensure the organization's survival and growth, they expanded services into grocery delivery and quick commerce through Blinkit. The manager balanced immediate profitability with a long-term expansion. They build a culture that values innovation and problem solving. These strategies help retain top talent. Similarly, imagine the owner of a small manufacturing firm. They direct the business toward a new regional market, prioritize building a competent team, and retain employees by offering training and recognition. These examples reflect the task of a modern professional manager. To briefly recap this section, a manager's responsibility extended beyond technical tasks. They must act as coordinators and instructors, navigating office politics while avoiding the pitfalls of being a strict commander. Their professional tasks center on setting direction, ensuring the firm economic survival through efficiency, and perhaps most importantly, building and retaining a strong human organization capable of handling change. To conclude, managerial work is far more complex than a simple set of instructions or authority based actions. This lecture has shown that managers perform multiple interconnected roles as identified by Henry Mintzberg: interpersonal roles that build relationships, informational roles that manage knowledge flows, and decisional roles that shape organizational outcomes. Beyond these roles, managers act as coordinators, facilitators, instructor, negotiator, and when required, commanders. So their responsibilities extend to ensuring effectiveness, maintaining efficiency, and building a strong human organization, retaining talent, and responding proactively to changes. Understanding managerial roles provide a realistic and practical framework for appreciating how managers contribute to organizational success in both stable and dynamic environments. So this is all about today's lecture. Thank you very much.